Hi, it's me. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany. This channel name is B Lotus. My company name is Aquarius United. Please go ahead and like and subscribe, share, follow all my other socials to get more of my creative content in your feed and to show support to a hardworking creator. Please, if you do not appreciate amateur or therapeutic work, which is what I'm doing here, go ahead and click off. This is not like an artistic channel, or I am a creative, I am an artist. I make art all the time. Um, don't come out here saying it's bad or I need to do something else unless it's actually constructive, which I follow enough drawing, painting channels to get enough constructive advice. So um, I'm good on that. I want to talk about why I'm doing this picture and why it's so important for more people to do things like this. Particularly if you are like struggling to express yourself, struggling to express your emotions, particularly. Um, it was recommended to me by my therapist, my psychologist, to create works of art for my emotions. At least this works for me, of course, but like this is the way that like I am able to speak about my emotions in a clear, defined way and really understand like what is happening in my body, in my mind, in my spirit. My artwork is like a journey through my emotions. I'm learning more about myself now. I love to draw, of course. It's something that I always did as a child. Um, I was writing more. I was much more of a writer than like a cartoonist, but I am still a cartoonist. I am able to create these really cool symbols and images that carry a lot of information in them because it's just me interpreting what my brain is processing and translating that into color onto paper. Now, the stuff I generally make is using color pencils, but this is my first time actually using these watercolor pencils I got from Michaels. Um, I didn't, so I think that's why my colors didn't come out so strongly pigmented at the end. But honestly, I am very, very happy with how it came out, considering the fact that like it took me a while to even manifest this energy and be able to put it on paper, in image. When like I start drawing my emotions out, it it's like a somatic release of these feelings that have been in my mind ruminating and just sticking in there. And so I was thinking deeply about like what are the blockages in my life? What are the things that are holding me back? And the reality is, of course, it's only ourselves holding ourselves back, but it's like, what is my reaction to the world that is holding me back, that is setting me back? Like the feeling that comes over me when I want to do something and I feel this sense of hopelessness, and I feel a sense of who cares, and I feel this sense of why does it matter? All these things these negative emotions that just pull us further down, down, down. and struggling against it on a daily basis, whether it be through like my vice is smoking weed. It's not really much of a vice, but I think I give myself too much shame and guilt about it because, yeah, I like to smoke. But I do know that I have recently been using it um, as a crutch, as self medication to get through these episodes that have been occurring quite, not too frequently, but it's like dealing with the aftermath of all the trauma, right? The heaviness, the sinking feeling, the hopelessness, right? And I really had to sit down with this that was holding me down and really look at what is happening. And is this sense of like, even though my personal life may be improving in some ways, I also like, I'm in a very good relationship now. I'm doing the work I want to do. And it's like I know I'm like just almost there over the precipice of you know, financial validation. I'll say that. I get this, I worry about things being pulled from underneath the carpet from me. Um, the feeling, that's the trauma that comes back up, where it's like I had to suddenly leave a traumatic place. I had a traumatic experience and I had to leave in a hurry. And like, so things had to move so quickly. And that pressure that I was put under, I put myself under, I guess, to push forward. And I did it. I made it this far. But now, of course, the cycle comes back around where it's like, what's next? And I worry about, I get anxiety about what happens next, because the housing crisis, right? The job unemployment crisis, the financial crisis, these things that affect our daily lives, our families, our well-being, the risk to um, our health and our wealth. Fear is driving so much of this. We look out in the world and it's hard to stomach what you see. It's hard to fathom it. It's like, how is it like everybody agrees we need to change things and yet nothing is changing yet? What action? There's lots of actions that need to take place. There are actions that are taking place, but some big steps need to be taken. And I wonder, how do we herald that forward? Is that the right word to use? Who cares? English is weird. Like, I think about how so many people are swept up in addiction and despair and are fed up with the system how it is, and we're just looking for our next direction, looking for our way out. But then it's like, as we look out looking for a way out, we see all the horrible stuff that's happening all around us, all over the world, not just in the Middle East either. There's all these distractions from our regular life, from healing, the distraction from actually building good, strong community at home. and steps have been purposely, intentionally taken by fascists and their sympathizers, their lackeys, paid lackeys, right? And because our elected officials just aren't that anymore, it seems. Even though everyone wants to say vote, well, voting is going to work, but when you vote people in, they need to get in and appeal to the fascists who really line their pockets. They appeal to developers who are going to line their pockets, who are going to line their own pockets. But they aren't doing things for the community, right? Like, I'm just like saying this as like, if the government was doing what was supposed to be doing, we wouldn't have half of these problems we see today. So it's like when you look at the world and you see these things happening, you can't help but feel this sinking hopelessness or sinking feeling, the drowning of all of like the bureaucracy that's been put on us, the illusion of that we have to be wage slaves, the discrimination that's still happening. Like, you can't even, like, for me as a Black content creator, like, I know that there's many other great content creators, you know, but the algorithm that we have to battle against that keeps changing and keeps deciding who's allowed to speak and who's not, who's allowed to get to the top of the newsfeed and who's not allowed. That's a reality. And if you aren't, I know I'm not, if you aren't neurotypical or a certain kind of special weirdo, you're not getting to the top of the feed. And if you're Black, that cuts your chances in half. So these are the things that are really happening and things that I really think about and struggle with trying to be confident in the world and acting in the world. It would be one thing if the entire world wasn't connected and it's basically a requirement to have internet to run your business. It's basically a requirement to be connected in some kind of way. But the discrimination, the algorithm, the fear, all these things that just like get in the way of people succeeding. It's so frustrating to think about. And of course, frustration comes from expectations, right? But it's like, if the expectation is a fair marketplace, a fair place to operate in, then like, of course people are gonna get angry when those expectations are not met on a regular, consistent basis. And the crap about life isn't fair is bullshit, because the people who made life not fair are capitalists and the fascists. They're kind of like the same. So yeah, so my point is, this is me expressing what I feel when I look out into the world, because it's just that. It's the truth. The truth is so sorrowful. It is depressing. But then it's also like, for me and my faith, I cannot give up. I cannot stop. And that is so much stronger than despair, right? Faith and hope. That's what they want to destroy in us. They want us to have no hope and to rely on these entities that don't care about us and are seeking to destroy us totally for their acceleration to the end of the universe, I guess. I don't know. But I just know that we, as a collective people, are witnessing this on a daily basis. Our higher selves are witnessing this. Our bodies are witnessing this. Our subconscious, unconscious minds are recording and witnessing this. And it's affecting how we interact with each other. It's affecting how happy we are in our regular lives. Even if you aren't clinically depressed or anything like that, it doesn't mean you don't have this shadow over you as you operate in the world. So what do we do as people who are struggling to swim in this world, struggling to make sense of anything? Obviously, things are changing. I know things are changing because my whole life is entirely changed. Me doing painting and drawing again, this is a return to like source. And we all should be working towards that, because it is the age of Aquarius. It's Pluto in Aquarius. Even so many YouTubers now are leaving their pages, right? Matt Pat just watched his video last night saying goodbye to the internet. But that's the kind of energy that is happening right now. Transformations and revelations and new power. We have to prepare. We should have already been prepared, right? But prepare your mind for more things coming out, more things changing radically. Accept that in your life. Welcome it in. Try not to resist it too much, especially if you're Pluto in Scorpio, because we don't have to drown. We have the ability to build rafts of life support with each other. We don't have to rely on an entity to do that for us. We can do that for ourselves. It's just a matter of bringing together our community and our resources and love and compassion and humanity, and setting aside these differences that have done nothing but caused so much turmoil between each other. The psychological impact of competitiveness in Western culture has created this idea that some idea has to be best or better, when the reality is that multiple ideas are good at the same time, and those good ideas should all work together at the same time. And we should very quickly get rid of the bad ideas that are already on the books. It doesn't matter how long it's been there. If it's bad and it's detrimental, we have to cut it out of our system, of our institutions. I don't think that's a radical thing to say, but nowadays people are becoming too trapped in like their fear and the negativity of the world. But I really, really believe that humanity is always able to make a comeback. Even if we wait till the last second or the last breath, humanity makes a comeback. So I love you. Be well. Be blessed. See you next time.